welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be playing some more F1 Manager 2022. So we're still disappointing our board, despite the fact, you know, compared to real life, I think McLaren only has a point or something. I don't know. But actually, so it's in my Alpine campaign. I'm more races in, and McLaren only has a point. So I think I'm doing quite well compared to what the AI can do with this team, but we shall see if we can improve matters. So we've got a race coming up in 11 days. That's the Italian Grand Prix. Interested about new drivers, though. I'm thinking about Ricardo. I wonder if we could get just like a really good driver in, you know? Apparently Max Verstappen is open to talking to us, which surprises me. Leclerc? I find it... It's open negotiation. I find it hard to believe we could get Leclerc. And then we've got Norris, who, you know, is obviously very good. George Russell is not interested. Ocon, though. 25... He's quite interested. You got someone like Gasly, 26. I kind of want to invest in someone a little bit younger, though. Like Lance Stroll. There's Joe there with Alpha. Or even Tsunoda. AlphaTauri. I wonder if we could, have we got any... Oh, we don't have any scouting stuff left. Okay, but we might come to the point where we're scouting people like that. Or there's Piastri, who is Alpine's reserve driver. Alex Albon. So, you know, there are options out there. He's still decent, Daniel Ricciardo. I just kind of want to invest in someone who's going to improve at a faster rate. Because as an older driver, he's not improving by as much as quickly. So, well, we'll leave that for now. Let's just continue. Sidepods, design complete. It's got 6 days until the race, so can we manufacture those in time? Let's rush it. We can do 5 days. If we have 4, or if we do it as an emergency, we'd definitely get them in time. $1.5 million? Yeah, why not? And now if we can probably just stick those straight in, shall we? So this is what the increase is looking like. And it is an increase. Across the board, really. Apart from a fair drop in engine cooling. That's the main difference. So let's install that on both cars. And I want to compare my car to the rest of the grid. So let's go to car analysis. So here we can see the grid average. So we're way below average, but let's actually look at the specific teams. Well, we're not competing with Red Bull and Ferrari. I think we know that. But against Mercedes, they are much better than us. Okay. What about Alpine? So we've got some low-speed cornering that's better than them. But generally, they should be above us. What about Alfa Romeo? Again. So are there any teams out here we're definitely... I mean, we must be better than Williams. Yeah. And we must be better than Haas. Well, actually, it's 50-50, arguably a bit in their favour. Like AlphaTauri. That's more like 50-50. Aston Martin's in our favour. So we're still not among the best cars on the grid, which is a bit of a shame. Let's look at car parts development. Let's get a new project going. So is it just rear wing we haven't looked at now? I think it might be. So let's look at a rear wing. In terms of the testing hours, we've got 1.1 left, but in 16 days it's going to refresh. So let's use all that up. And we'll do the same for our wind tunnel hours. Just get that really going. There we go. Well, that's looking better. And then if we just whack all this stuff to the max... Looking like a decent increase in some stuff there. We'll stick all our engineers on. I've only got 4, so this is going to take 60 days. So if we rush it, 42. If it's intense, it's 62. I don't get why intense tends to... It's more expensive and also takes longer. I don't know if that's a bug or what. But I don't know why you would ever select that. But let's do this. Carry on. So the results of our voting are in. Let's see what happened. Thank you to teams. So they've passed the minimal regulation changes thing. So ourselves, Mercedes, Haas and Alfa Romeo. So kind of all the teams that are kind of mid-table, but with an eye on overtaking the likes of Red Bull, etc. We all wanted a bigger change, but they voted a more minor change in, which that's fine. I don't have strong feelings on the matter. Okay, but now we can actually research in our factory. So let's do a new project. Okay. What are our current projects then? So, well, we're kind of committed to building stuff now, designing stuff now for the next month and a bit. So I guess we'll just leave that be. Up and coming driver, they've been looking at Isaac Hajar. High growth potential in F3. 17. Yeah, I don't know. Looking ahead, that's fine. We've been looking at T. Shuang. Okay. So this is our technical chief. He's better than our technical chief in every single area. He is a bit older. But in every single area he's an improvement. So he's only going to be with us for another 8 months. Let's see, maybe we'll replace him. Let's propose a contract. Let's say 4 seasons. I notice our Ben Watkins is on 2.1 mil, so let's pitch this at about 2 mil and see what he says. We'll bump this up a fair bit. I can say 250,000 maybe. See what he says to that. No, didn't like the bonus. Okay. So let's go to 5 seasons. He didn't like this. What can we do? Okay, 5's the max. Let's say 2.5. He is better than who we have now. How about that? Oh, maybe it's too long term then. Okay. Well, let's try. He doesn't mind the salary. Let's try 3 seasons then. He's getting a bit annoyed. We'll push this up to 2.6. That might accept. There, he's accepted. Okay. There we go. Let's have a look at our staff now. So, in terms of the race engineers, could we improve on that? Let's have a look. So, Riccardo Adami on Ferrari. 85. He's 48, which is actually younger than Jason Pryor. Open to negotiation. I might just try and get him. Let's compare him. So Christopher Hayes here is on just over 1 million. What about changing with Jason Pryor? Yeah, Jason's only got a year left. So let's see if we can get him. Yeah, Jason Pryor's fine. Contract length. Well, let's pitch it at 4 seasons. See what he says to that. Salary is going to be quite high. We could say 1.5 maybe. Or maybe 1.6. See how he feels about that. Let's stick him up to about 200k on the bonus. Bear in mind, we're trying to lure him from Ferrari. Ooh, looking good. So yeah, we got an agreement. So we're hiring him. And we're going to do the same thing again. So let's go back to race engineers. We'll look for those who are willing to come over. So we've got Ben Mitchell, who's at Aston Martin. He's actually very good considering he's at Aston Martin. Or Red Bull. He's younger, but he is younger and has the same sort of quality. Maybe we'll look at Gianpiero Lambiase. Compare him to Christopher. What's Christopher? Yeah, so let's propose a contract then. Let's work on a similar sort of basis to what we just did. Let's say 4 seasons. 1.6 and like 200k on the bonus. See what he says. Yep. All greens. Higher as a go. There we go. Now what's his performance like? So he's very good. 90 for pit crew management, 92 for feedback. Liking that. Let's have a look at Ricardo. Much better in communication, not quite as good as in the other two, but yeah, two very good hires there, I think. And who's the other one? The head of aerodynamics. Where's ours? That's Mitchell Kumar, isn't it? Are any of the... He's 61, that might be a bit old. The Red Bull guy is interesting. 88 potential. Enrico Balbo. Oh, that's a big improvement, isn't it? And he's younger. He's only got a year left. He's earning 2 point... Okay, let's do this too. Get him from Red Bull. So we'll say 4 seasons again. We'll pitch at about 2 million, I think, for the wages. And we'll bump this up to about $250,000. See what he says. Didn't like the salary. Okay, well, let's go back in with that then. Let's say 2.5. Was this okay? We can bump this up a little bit, try and get a green tick on this one. Ooh, still not liking the salary. Okay. I guess we'll try 3. It's expensive, but hopefully worth doing. We'll say 350 for this. I still... The question now becomes, do I want to spend £3 million on this guy? Maybe I don't. Okay, let's go back. We've also got Dirk de Beer, who is... Well, he's a bit old as well, maybe. We have Alessandro Cinelli at Alfa Romeo. Okay, going with this. So again, let's say 4 seasons. We'll drop the wages back down a bit. We'll say maybe 1.8. He's only at Alpha, so maybe willing to be paid a bit less. We'll pitch this about 180. The wage is still a problem. Alright, let's go up. Let's push it straight up to 2.5. I don't really want to annoy them too much. And we'll say 250 for this. Wow, okay. try one more. We'll push it up to 3, and if he says no, then that's fine. We won't go for him. Okay, we've got greens across the board now. I just wonder if at this point... Let's go back and talk to the Red Bull guy. Patience low. Let's just try him, because he's that much better. So let's try 3.5 and 500,000. And if he still says no, then we'll go for the other guy. He said no. No patience. Okay, so let's go for the let's go for Cinelli then. Oh wow, we pissed him off. There's Dirk de Beer. Well, we try for Tondi. He's only 61. He's not that old. Let's try not to piss him off. Let's go straight in at like 3.5. Well, let's say 3.5. See what he says. And we'll say 500,000 on this. Ooh, okay. Probably too long term. Let's take it down to 2 seasons. We'll say 4 million. This was okay, but we can make it better. Let's try that. Yeah, we like the bonus. Here's 90 though. Let's try. How high do we go? 500,000? Well, 5 million? Is that too high? I don't know. Did he like this? I don't even know if he liked that. Let's try 3. He liked the bonus. Okay, we need to get the seasons right. It must be one. He must only be willing to do it for a season. Let's see how he gets on with this. I don't know what he wanted. Was it 5 seasons then? Doesn't want to talk to us now. Okay, we'll stick with our guy for now then. We just annoyed everyone. We've got some scouts now though, I think. Let's see if any of these are worth scouting. Oliver Behrman maybe? And maybe Zane Maloney. Got Theo there, which is quite cool. Let's check out some of these high potential young drivers. What I'll probably do is drop Daniel at the end of the season, move Lando up to car 1, and car 2 will be Theo, I think. But let's go to race day. Boardroom. Completed. Yeah. Welcoming our new members of staff. Let's go to race prep. Performance targets. I think we can try and reach Q2. 10th. It's possible. And the streaks we've still got going on. Okay, well that all looks fine. Drivers, car builds, that's all okay.
The hills of Tuscany are green to the south, but here in Imola the air is red hot. Welcome to Ferrari's turf for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. The track has been around since the 60s, but the first official Formula One race was held here in 1980. Let's see what excitement lies ahead this year. This is Imola, and it's an old school track with plenty of elevation changes and lots of corners. There's only one DRS zone here, but it follows the long straight right before Tamburello and should see plenty of action. We might still be early in the season, but that doesn't mean we can sit back and relax. Everything is up for grabs, and nothing is certain at this stage. So, without further ado, let's get started.
Yeah, let's. Okay, what's the weather doing? It looks pretty dry all the way through. That's good. We're going to pop Daniel out and have Theo come in for P1. And then we're going to go to practice. Manage the session.
I'm ready to check.
So let's send Norris out first.
Check, all good. Green light.
And we're going to send Theo out. Stick with Norris. And as before, we're just going to bump it up to 16 times speed, and we're going to come back when we can see what differences we can make to these cars. Right, so here we are back in the garage. Both setups were bad, but we expect that for the first run. See, the top three are all pretty bad, need to change. Straights is okay. So it probably means that oversteer's got to go that way. I'm quite happy with the way that's going as well. In fact, if I just push that there. That might be worth a go. Why not? Let's go on more softs. And we'll send him out again. A little pat on the head. And now we're going to take a look at car 1 with Theo in. Similarly bad, similarly in need of improvement in those areas. Okay, so let's move that. I'll move that. And we'll probably try that as well. Hopefully a bit closer to the pin. Right, so here we are back in the garage. It's a bit better. 73 out of 100. It's not bad. Traction needs to change quite a lot. Which slide it? Oh, that's pretty good. So let's move that as far as we can that way. Maybe we can bring braking back in a little bit. I need to bring this in a little bit as well. If we just nudge that one. And then we can adjust with this one. I just want to bring that back to optimal. I'd like to move the top one a bit more, but it doesn't seem to be on the cards for us. This one needs to come down a bit as well. Okay, let's try that. Let's try that. We'll go on mediums this time. Alright, back in the garage on car 1. Again, the traction needs to change. So which one is that? Let's push that up there. we'll try that. And we'll see how that goes. Okay, we've only got 8 minutes of the session left, so I think we'll let that ride, and then we'll try the new setup when we get back. I mean, Theo's got up to his 500 training points, so we'll just let the last 6 minutes run out. When we come back, we'll be in P2. Okay, so that's the end of P1. Norris actually got up to 8th, which is quite nice. We weren't really pushing anything in particular. Development looking good. Let's go to P2. Ricardo back in the car. Manage session. And then we're just going to send out again.
Yeah, confirm.
Stick with Norris. Alright, when we come back, we'll be back in the garage. Okay, so we're in the garage now. We got it to... Oh, they didn't get to the... Well, he's going to have to go back out. We'll just send him out for... I don't know. He needs a few laps. Say 4 laps. What were his tyres doing? They'll be alright. Daniel actually did get to 5 out of 5, so we know he's doing quite well. 91%'s not bad. If we can get that top one moving a little bit, maybe more this way. And we want to kind of bring everything else back to where it was. Which might not be easy. That's quite good. That's gone to great. That's good. And the ones that are on great have moved slightly. The one that's on good has moved a little bit. Let's try that. Let's go and do this. We'll do another set of softs. Why not? Send them out. And Norris is going to be coming in very shortly. He's 85% there, so let's just bring him straight in. Yeah. Alright, let's go see Norris now. 35's not bad. Bit of work to do. This traction's bad though, so we need to push that. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Let's put that there. So the optimal one does need to move back. The two greats moved a little bit. The optimal one I need to move back somehow. That might be worth trying. I haven't changed these ones an awful lot, is the only thing, but I think you can play with things too much. Let's give that a go. We've at least moved this one a little bit. I can move that one. Maybe we'll move it a little notch. See if that's any better. Let's go on softs again. We'll change our run plan. We'll go back up to the top. And when we come back, we'll see how we did. Come back. Ricardo's just said there's some damage to the underfloor, and we can see there's minor damage. I didn't see the incident that caused that. We're still waiting to get the final bit of feedback. We may as well stick with it now that they're very close to doing that. Norris, back to the garage. Please don't come in. Oh, right. A minute left. We'll let it run out. Did Ricardo get to feedback? Well, there we are at the end of the session. So Norris is still doing 8th, and Ricardo fell down with his underfloor damage. Neither of them got to the point where they're giving me feedback. So both going to have to go back on the naughty step and go into P3, which we're going to have to manage now, instead of just letting it run. Maybe have to bump that up to 16 laps to make sure they're giving us that bonus. So let's reconfigure. But we're going to just do the run plan, and we're going to bring it down to 3 laps. Similar for Norris. Oh no. No, that's okay. I sent him out. That's fine. I can just bring him in when he's when he's got his feedback. So we'll stay with it because we're very close to just finding out what they're actually doing. 90. Okay, come in.
Okay. I'm happy. Happy.
Ricardo's at 99%. Look, brilliant. Okay, well we'll call him. We'll call him in, and then we'll send him out on a proper
Do you need any help
run.
with the balance at this stage?
Norris coming into the garage there. Okay, so let's reconfigure that. So we're pretty close. 90 is not bad. We can just bring this one in a line a little bit, maybe to there. The great one can move. That's fine. How can we get that coming back? That's good. I think that might be good. I think that might be a good one. Let's send him on his mediums. In terms of the run plan, let's actually do. Let's bump it up to 16 laps because he's not giving me the feedback quickly enough. Ricardo's coming back in. So 99%, I'm not going to tweak anything. We'll have a look and admire how close we got. Very close. But we're just going to go into his run plan and we'll bump that up to, he may as well stay out until, if we put him on a set of hards, and we'll just keep him out there for like 20 laps. The main thing with him is getting the parts confidence and track acclimatization. So let's just send him out and keep him out. So when we come back, we'll see how we did with Norris. Back with Norris, he came in when he didn't know about one of the stats, but I think it was one that was pretty fine the way it was. So I've just moved this top one a little bit. I think it had a knock-on effect of moving braking stability a little bit. We know we're close, so we're going to send him out set of hards, and we'll just make sure that he stays out, because he still didn't give me that last bit of feedback. He can just stay out there now. And when we come back, we'll see how we did at the end of practice. So that's the end of P3. In the last 3 seconds, I think, of practice, Lando Norris managed to completely smash his front wing. I don't know if we're going to be able to repair that in time for the race. We don't know how confident he is in his setups, so could be better. Could be better is what I'm saying. Okay, we're going to go into qualifying anyway. I mean, I was going to say, I'm hoping we're at the part of qualifying where we can, hopefully at the stage where we can get into Q3. I guess we'll find out. I think we'll get knocked out in Q2 with the damage to both cars. Yeah, not much we can do really. I'm expecting them both to come out. Yep. Wow, 14th and 15th, that's rubbish. That is rubbish.
Race day has arrived and the time has come for these drivers to fight it out wheel to wheel.
I was really hoping that we'd be pushing for points in this race. Doesn't look like it though. I want to see the car stuff because I want to know how badly they've both wrecked it. Let's say A. It's quite kind on the tyres, this one, isn't it? Can we adjust that here? No, we'll do it here. So we push that. If we try and stay on the faster tyres for longer, say we get to there, and then we can really push those hard tyres. What does it look like on softs, in fact? Not great. Could we go hard soft? And keep pushing that to like... I mean, it doesn't really need to go any further than that, does it? That might be good. I'm not minding that. Let's do that. And then with Ricardo, why don't we do the opposite? Why don't we do it as a new strategy? Yeah, we're going to go on to hards, but we're going to do it later. Something like that. Let's say lap 22. Not hating that. I want to have a look at the cars, though. I want to know how badly they've wrecked it. think because we're down one, I'm guessing we've put on a replacement. Although it was on Norris's car, wasn't it? We're going to need to start thinking about replacing that gearbox at some point, maybe after this race. Front wing. Yeah, so yeah, I'm pretty sure they've replaced that then. Pretty sure. Because in practice he was, you know, getting 8th place stuff going on, so that would be very good if we can replicate that.
Blue skies overhead as the drivers line up on the grid. Looking at Daniel Ricciardo. Slower than most yesterday, so today they'll be starting from the bottom half of the grid. Norris there, further down the grid. They're starting in the bottom half of the grid today, so there's a lot of cars between...
We were rubbish in qualifying. I might start taking control of the qualifying. I've been simming it, just thinking that they'll probably be performing decently well because of the setup stuff, but
away we go.
Apparently not. I guess we'll stick with Ricciardo for the first few laps at least. What other tyres are people on? Apart from Vettel, we're the only 2 drivers on softs. I'm hoping that might have some kind of effect. Oh, sorry, Magnussen. Yeah. So Vettel and Magnussen are on softs, then it's us. But I don't know what people's strategies might be. They might change that back. I enjoy the sounds of this. It's a good Formula 1 sound, I think. We'll probably stick with Ricciardo. He's ahead in the stand. Just he's a place ahead, isn't he? But he's going to be pitting first anyway because he's starting on softs. I just want to get that. I'd like to think we can sort of climb towards 10th and 11th, but I guess we'll find out. Bottas qualified very high. I kind of disregarded him when I was selecting teams. I wonder if I should have looked at him more closely. Because he's performed well in every race, I think. I'd like to see a bit more race drama this time in terms of locking up, spinning out and crashing. Last time I said that, it was actually us who locked up and lost loads of places. But nice how it happened to other teams this time. As I say, be careful what you wish for. We're keeping fairly steady so far. I think we're going to be coming up to DRS soon. Oh, another driver locked up. Who was that? We might get a replay of it. Oh, a car's run wide. Albon. Okay, well,
now watch this.
Not really a direct competitor, as he's in a Williams.
Oh, there's the lockup.
There he is, he's in the grass.
Last thing they'll have wanted.
Held him up a few seconds. He's probably last by now, I'd imagine. There he is. Yeah, a few seconds behind even Latifi.
DRS is enabled. DRS is enabled.
Enabled, eh? Well, let's deploy it to start with. Might get Norris driving a bit more aggressively on the harder tyres.
Head down. Yeah, confirm.
Can maybe push a little bit with a bit of extra fuel.
We do not require any fuel liftoff.
Okay.
Got different voices there now. We're very close to Magnussen. Maybe we should go a bit aggressive here.
Let's push.
Okay.
Go on, push, push, push. Attack. Might get round the chicane. No. Suddenly we're well behind. Okay, well let's back off on the tyres a little bit. We'll stay aggressive for a little while.
Back it out. Back it out.
Okay.
Norris very close behind Ricciardo. We might have him here. Alright, I'm going to stick with Norris now. He was faster in practice. Not qualifying though.
Just look after this tyre set though. Look after it.
Okay.
He's right behind. I mean, the cars are identical. Whenever I've made a new part, I've made sure it's gone into both cars. But Norris just seems to be that little bit faster, so I'm hoping he can catch up to Magnussen. Okay. Petrol's getting, the fuel's getting a bit low, so we'll drop off a little bit.
Have a lift off.
And we'll go back into neutral mode
Okay.
on the ERS.
Good luck.
Norris got the fastest lap there. Very nice. I doubt it will last, but good nonetheless. It's hard to tell on the tyres. I mean, they're looking okay. Oh, we're very close to Magnussen. Let's go to overtake mode. Attack. We'll leave the fuel where it is. Well, no, we'll push for a little bit. We can always drop back. There we go. We got him. We got him. Come on. So that chicane came at the wrong time. It's always that chicane we look like we're going to overtake him on.
No DRS.
Damn
no
it.
DRS for it. Confirm.
Suddenly we're a second behind.
And big lift off. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to speed up a bit now.
Slow down. Yeah, confirm.
Second and a half behind after they sort of overtake. Oh no! Oh, now Daniel's gone past. Right, we'll be in Daniel's car for a while. Not quite sure what happened there. Same thing happened to Ricciardo when he tried to overtake Magnussen. Just ended up dropping back, and then Norris overtook him. Very strange. Very strange. Unless something happened, they weren't happy with the way he was re-overtaking, and they put on the brakes a bit. I don't know. Ricciardo's got a bit of extra fuel. Feels like we're kind of cementing this 13th and 14th place, doesn't it? We're not really getting that close to Magnussen. Even on these soft tyres. I guess Magnussen's on softs as well, isn't he? Oh, we've got loads of fuel on Norris, so let's push him a little bit. Oh, well, that and Ricciardo's running out. There goes Norris, so we'll switch back to him. Still nearly second and a half behind Magnussen, but catching up. Let's see if we can get him this time. Clawing back the time, 3/4 of a second now. God, his extra fuel's just got burned away. I don't really get that. I think it depends on, you know, if you're slipstreaming, if you're... well, I think slipstreaming may be the main one. Obviously, Norris was behind Ricciardo for a few laps, so that probably helped. See, Ricciardo's right behind Norris now, and his fuel's creeping back up. I think as we get closer to this little cluster again, that should go up again, I would think. Hoping to get another 12 laps or so out of the softs on Ricciardo's car. Yeah, the fuel situation seems to be balancing out. Let's switch to the director's view for a little bit. I wasn't sure about the orange at first. It's grown on me though. I think it's quite a snazzy looking car. Certainly one of the more distinctive ones on the track. Yeah, there's this cluster of sort of about 9 cars from Russell down to Ricciardo. Just very, very close to each other. Still that half a second gap to us and Magnussen though.
Seems to have been a lock-up.
So what's this, race 4? We haven't seen any retirements yet in any of our races. My other campaign, where I'm playing Alpine, I haven't seen any retirements. It does sound like there's a bit of a patch coming though in the... This is day 1 of the official release, but it's coming within a few days or something apparently, and hopefully it'll address stuff like that. Maybe a bit on the tyres. And sort of, you know, other minor issues perhaps. That people more familiar with cars and how they operate and Formula 1 and how it operates probably have spotted, but I haven't, because being less familiar with it. Let's check on the tyres, because Norris has been pretty aggressive all this time. Still looking okay. I think we're going to carry on with those for a fair old while yet. Gap between Magnussen and Joe is starting to widen a little bit, but we're still catching up to Magnussen very slowly. Because we're slipstreaming now, I wonder if we can be a bit more, can push a little more on the fuel. And maybe we'll attack a bit on the tyres as well. It'd be nice to get past him. Come on, okay, have we done it? I think we've done it. Check behind. Yep, he's back there.
And McLaren with a great overtake.
Okay, well let's not push so much. We'll stay aggressive on the pace, but we won't push it otherwise. Now we've got Joe coming up. I would like, because if we can start getting to the point where we're overtaking some of these cars, I feel like that would be good. But I think we can start pushing towards the points places once we start doing that. I'm hoping our tyre strategy will be better than some of the other ones, because Norris will be finishing the race on soft tyres. I don't think there's a huge difference between the compounds necessarily, but they are marginally faster. And hopefully that's enough to make a difference. I mean, when you think there's about 2 seconds between us in 12th and Russell in 6th, it's not a huge gap. And Magnussen's already pitting, because he was on the softs, wasn't he? So he must have been thrashing those. Doesn't say here. Because Ricciardo's trying to make his last. He's got another 6 laps before the pit window opens. I think they're looking in fairly good nick. Doesn't need to preserve them beyond the pit window necessarily, because we'll be on hards and that'll be fine. Maybe we'll go a bit more aggressive on Ricciardo. Still very tight between us and Joe and Ocon and Gasly and Alonso and Russell. Bottas has gone back up there as well. Quite a big gap between Ricciardo and the cars behind him, though. That sort of 15 seconds. That was a yellow flag. Is there something happening?
We've just had a car run wide.
Oh, Schumacher. If anything locks up and runs wide, it tends to be these cars that are already at the back, like one of the Williamses or the Aston Martins. Or Schumacher. That happens quite often as well. So where are we at? We're nearly a third of the way through the race. I think we've climbed... Us and Ricciardo have both climbed a spot, largely because Magnussen pitted. What's he on now? Is he on hards? He's on mediums. Which is interesting, because I don't necessarily think he can finish the race on those. Oh, us and Joe. Maybe we go attacking again. And flip to an overtake on the RS.
And DRS is disabled.
For about 2 seconds. We get round. It says chicane. That's not a chicane. That's a couple of bends, isn't it? Okay, so Ricciardo's in the pit strategy. I'd like to leave it till lap 22, I think. Let's push. Try the overtake button. Oh, we're so close to Joe. We do it, come on. It's all set up there for you to do it. Oh, could it maybe on the straight? No ERS. And now we're over half a second behind. I don't know. We don't know. We'll just be a bit careful with the fuel. Okay. And that was our chance to overtake Joe. You're starting to have a bit of a gap opened up to Ocon. Sort of us and Joe at the moment, and Ricciardo's not far behind. Let's try to push again. Coming onto the straight. Ah, it's defending well. Just can't do it. Mind you, I was thinking about Magnussen for a while.
No DRS. No DRS for him. Yeah, confirm.
Tyres are on track. Carlo's not looking too bad. I mean, it makes sense for him just to keep them going as long as they can now. We're in that pit window. Maybe even go aggressive on them. I mean, like attacking on them. They're only really racing against Norris at this point. feel like we're cornering better than Zhou, but he's probably faster than us on the straights. I think that's pretty much what's happening. We're going to ignore that. We're going to keep going for a couple more laps probably. So we catch up round the... When it's round the sort of the corners and the chicanes, we catch up a little bit. Then when it goes into a straight, he overtakes. Oh, there goes Daniel. Waving goodbye. Come on. Yeah, you see, there's no sense that we're getting closer on the straights. But then after a corner, you know, we've eaten into the lead a little bit. How's Daniel doing? So I think what we'll do, we'll let this pit window... Oh, did we get past? I think we got past Zhou. I think that was a really good corner. I'm not getting a replay of it.
McLaren gain a
Yeah,
position.
we're going to watch the replay because I think that was quite a nice manoeuvre.
Now just take a look at the McLaren.
Boom. And just left him.
And they clear it. Big move for them and a race position gained.
Alpha sandwich there with McLaren.
That was a big moment.
So what, we're 11th now? Long way to Ocon, but we are eating into that lead. Alright, so Ricciardo's going to go past this pit window. And then we'll pit him in. Now. So what was our... We're going to hards, aren't we? Okay. Sounds good. Got a bit nice big gap to Zhou now. I say big gap, you know, 1.3 seconds. But we're very slowly creeping up on Ocon. I mean, we're having to use all our fuel to do it. I think it's because we're not slipstreaming anymore. It went from like, well, you know, it was about six laps over to not finishing the race. I think Norris is pitting, is it around lap 42, something like that? So who was that? Verstappen coming out the pit. Ricardo's lost a few places. But let's put him on aggressive now. And the people above him haven't pitted yet, so we should reclaim those places when they pit. Hopefully. Okay, there's various pitting going on now, so we'll see where we end up. Ocon's still the one we're interested in. It looks like we're 6 seconds behind him, which is more than it was, so maybe Verstappen coming out the pit slowed us up a little bit. Not sure. Tyres still looking good. Actually, no, we have crept up on Ocon. It's more like 3 seconds, something like that. 3.5. Did we just go past someone? It was Hamilton coming out of the pits. Maybe? That looks more like 3 seconds, but Russell's pitting now. So I think we can catch Ocon. It would be nice to get another point. We should hopefully be seeing signs of our car gaining on some of our competitors fairly soon. We've put a decent number of new parts in.
And McLaren with a great overtake.
Oh, Ricciardo's over Joe. See, now Ocon's more like 5-6 seconds ahead. I don't quite get how he's doubled his lead. I don't know. Might push Ricciardo a little bit. You could probably catch up with Schumacher. Has Bottas pitted yet? No. The Alpines and Bottas haven't pitted yet. They might be doing so soon. They are on hards though, so... Mind you, we're on hards, aren't we? We're using ours up way more than they are. We've been basically aggressive pace all race. Say that quickly 3 times. I think we're still on course. Not too worried about that. Oh, Alonso's fuel's gone. Hang on. Maybe we'll deploy him on the ERS.
Caution on the battery.
Okay.
So we're about halfway through the race now. Still waiting for some more people to pit, including ourselves. Our last lap was actually faster than Bottas's. Okay, so about 3 seconds to Bottas, who's half a second behind Ocon. What's our pit window like? So it's yeah, it's about 42, I think, 43, something like that. I think it opens at 40, but we'll try and keep it going for as long as we can. In terms of who will overtake us when we pit, I mean, definitely the Mercedes and possibly Gasly as well. Oh, okay, well, within 2.5 seconds of Ocon now, which is quite good. We can actually see him. Not close up, albeit, but, you know. Can't really eat into that at the moment. How's Ricciardo doing? I might push him up. I might push him up a bit. as he's quite close to overtaking Schumacher, who himself isn't too far behind Gasly. Two and a half seconds. Let's pop over to Ricciardo, see how he's doing. Yes, there's Schumacher. Probably can afford to attack for a little while. He's on hards. Not really happening for him, is it?
We've had a crash. Let's take a look at the replay.
Yeah, we'll watch
Let's
this.
have a look here. This was the Aston Martin. Oh, a nasty
Ooh.
crash there.
I mean, that could be a retirement. I mean, his front wing popped off there. We saw it.
Have a lift off.
It doesn't look like it though, does it? He's still there.
Understood.
He's not even last. And that is another criticism I've seen, that, you know, you see these cars sort of torpedo into the barriers and bits fly off them, and then they're, you know, back on the track as if nothing happened. So that's possibly something else they need to look at. Maybe more accurate feedback after crashes, that sort of thing. I don't know. Still behind this Ocon, nearly 3 seconds.
Keep at it.
Vettel did pit though. Maybe he just crept around.
Position.
Oh, I was going to look at that. Well done, Danny. Got Gasly right there as well.
And McLaren with a great overtake.
Oh, okay, we'll watch this one.
Let's take a closer look. Daniel Ricciardo involved here.
Not bad. So Ricciardo has got quite a long way to Russell, so let's pop him down back to balanced on the fuel. That's probably going to come down pretty quick. They're in the pit window for these tyres. Probably won't leave it as long because they're 39%, so maybe 2 laps. Not really making any inroads to Ocon. So I'm expecting maybe even Ricciardo to overtake Norris when he pits. 13s, that would be 24. Sounds about right. Might not happen. I expect both Mercedes to go by though. Look at the weather, it's all pretty bright and dry. Not a problem. 20% chance of rain. Yeah. It's looking good. Does it show best lap? Maybe, is this best lap? So we're a second slower than Sainz's best time.
I think there's been a lock-up.
If they're leaving... Well, that's useful for us. If they're leaving it so late to change their hard tyres out, I suspect they're going to be going on to softs like we did. That's my guess. So assuming that the Mercedes overtake us, then we'd be 10th and 11th, which is... Where did we start? Was it 13th, 14th? I mean, that would be good. That wouldn't be bad. Wouldn't be amazing, but it would be good. We'd get a point, wouldn't we? I'd love to get a point or two here. Not a bad race for Williams there. Look, they're ahead of the Aston Martins. Okay, so 35% on the tyres. We'll probably let this pit lane go by, and then we'll, set it up for the following lap. Yeah, let's set it up for the next lap. So we're going to go on to softs, aren't we? I mean, just attack those tyres. That'll be fine. How are these looking? I want to light up on them a little bit. Yeah, so what I was expecting to happen is for Hamilton and Russell to go by us when we're in the pit. And I think we'll probably come out just ahead of Ricciardo. That's my guess. Maybe like a second gap or less. But we'll find out now. Okay, so Hamilton passed. Russell passed. And we're ahead of Ricciardo. Yeah, for 3 seconds. Actually a slightly bigger gap than I was expecting there. But we're pretty well behind both the Mercedes now. But Ocon, Bottas and Alonso still to pit. So with a good chance of overtaking one or more of those after they pit. Which you would think they would be doing quite soon. So let's not attack these softs. Let's just go standard for a while. Let's respect them a little bit. Yeah, it definitely feels like there's a few big gaps that have opened up now. My guess is Alonso's too far ahead for it to matter for us. But Bottas and Ocon, I think we've got a decent shout of getting close to. I hope. Surely they can't be aiming to do this whole lap on one set of tyres. I don't even know if that's legal. Oh, Russell's locked up. Let's watch that.
Let's see what happened there. Now let's look at this. Here's George Russell. Just a bit too heavy on the brakes, and they've locked up.
Oh, we're right behind him now. That's interesting. Actually wondering if Ocon and Bottas might even be too far ahead for us to catch up to, even if they pit. I guess we'll see. Try and deploy a bit of ERS maybe. Okay, here we go. Competitors are pitting.
Yeah, confirm.
Let's keep it in real time and we'll see what happens here. We're not especially close. Well, we're in touching distance of Bottas at least. Ocon's still not pitted.
Looks like that was a position gained for Alfa Romeo.
Oh. Disappointing, Danny. You can go a bit more aggressive on these now.
So pick up the pace. Pick up the pace.
Okay, understood.
My guess is this is probably going to be fairly close to our finishing positions. We've got another 14 laps. It's tricky, isn't it? We could try and push a bit more, and then I'm going to deploy that. Just not sure how much of a difference it makes. Ocon still not pitted. He's going to be wearing his tyres down at this rate. They're almost 30%. Good for us, though. I mean, if he's trying to race on those, then he's going to go much, much slower. I would imagine he's probably fairly... There he goes. He goes into the pit. And if I had to guess, I would say that Alonso will overtake him, but us and Bottas and Russell probably won't. There he is. Oh, yeah, not quite. Not quite. So no places gained for us, but we're within spitting distance of the next 3 cars. It's not too bad. We'll have to push those back down.
Oh, they've run wide. Here's the replay.
Verstappen.
Now here we see Max Verstappen. And they've gone wide. Way wide.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't think it really is going to have a huge
And
impact on the
that
race.
was a bitter blow.
Is he leading? No, he's second. Well, okay. Well, that probably makes it more likely that Leclerc's going to win the race. Ricciardo still trailing Zhou. Oh, we're close to Ocon now. We've made up good pace on him. Has he put... What tyres has he put on? Softs. How weird. Let's attack them and we'll push. And we'll overtake mode.
And DRS is disable, DRS disable.
Confirm.
And there he goes, off into the distance. What's our tyre situation looking like? I think we can go to aggressive.
Slow down now.
Confirm.
Feels like that battle's solidifying a little bit. Us and Ocon, Ricciardo and Zhou. So best case, we'll finish 9th and 11th. Worst case, 10th and 12th. That's what I'm thinking. Certainly doable. Just going to push a little bit while we're behind him.
McLaren gain a position.
Oh, Ricardo's got a show. Good, 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 good. Good boy, Danny.
A position gained for Alfa
Oh,
Romeo.
bad boy, Danny. Right, let's go a bit more attacking. Get it back. I think Ricardo had a chance to overtake there. It went down to like they were neck and neck, and now he's nearly a second and a half behind. Who was that? Must have lapped someone. Still is Ocon. Oh, come on, come on. Push, push, push. Oh, maybe we can. Okay, let's risk a little bit of attack. Let's go back to real time for the last few laps of the race. See, now it's like he's about a second ahead. It must be top speed or acceleration or something on the straights that's holding us back. I mean, the Alpines just do have a much better car than us. That's something worth remembering.
Look at that! They've run wide!
Russell again. Let's have a look.
We can take a look now. Now let's look at this. Here's George Russell.
He's having some problems,
They've
Russell.
taken that far too wide. And
Let's slowed him down a little bit. What does that do in relation to us? Ooh, he's spitting distance again. 7 laps left. Could finish as high as 8th. It's unlikely, but possible. Tyres look fairly spot on where they're meant to be. At this stage, looks like another race without any retirements. And then they just shoot off on the straights. I can't remember what parts we've got in development, but I feel like anything that looks at top speed, acceleration, anything like that, we need to take a look at improving. Ooh, we're second behind now. Do the Russell locking up for a third time. Ooh, they're dueling. That might let us in. Oh, we're so close. Alright, a bit more attack. Yeah, it's around these corners we're doing pretty well in, but then they come to the straights and they just zoom off. I'm quite concerned about those tyres now.
Slow down.
Yeah, confirm.
push Daniel a bit more. This is pretty much his last chance to try and eat into this lead over him that Zhou's got. We're a second behind. It's these straights, yeah, they're just going to accelerate away on the straights, and then the bends come and we catch up a bit.
5 more laps.
We deploy the RS as well. Ah, we're so close, but now they're gonna speed off around these straights. There they go. So acceleration is at top speed, is it both? I don't know. But that's what we need to look at next, I think. So 4 laps to go. I am a little bit concerned about the tyres. I think they're going to be 40% or below probably by the time we're back. Ricardo's caught up to Zhou, that's good. Hopefully he can get past him. Let's have a look here what's going on. Come on, you're past, defend it. Is he past?
You're looking good at the moment.
I think he is.
And McLaren with a great overtake.
How do we hold this? I think the tyres are good. I think we can keep that pace up. I'll keep an eye on this fuel situation. And we go out to Norris.
Free to go.
Oh, Zhou took him. Not much more I can do to help you, Danny.
Okay. Alrighty.
I'm not going to watch that.
Who's running wide there?
Albon, who cares? Well, 10th would give us a point. That's the way of looking at that. Let's see, where does that leave us? 7th, is it, still? I think we're ahead of 4 teams, aren't we? Or Ricardo and Zhou still going at it. Fuel's looking alright. Tyres could be better on car 2.
We'll have one more lap after this. One more lap after this.
But I think we have to try and make up that gap. Oh, Ricardo's so nearly a second and a half behind Zhou now. That is a bit disappointing. Leclerc started the last lap. We've got a lap and a half to go. Tyres are really going to start degrading, but it's Zhou's 8 seconds behind us. I don't think he can make that up. I was thinking if we get past these cars, they'll just take us at the next straight. I think Norris is driving well. I think the car's letting him down at the moment. Car ran wide, probably no one useful to us.
Oh, did someone run
Gasly?
wide there?
Yeah, that's alright. It kind of cements Ricciardo's 12th spot. Is this it? No, we've got one more lap.
Lap.
Tyres at 30. Well, I think I'm going to have to back off those now. It's probably a bit late anyway, but there's no chance of us catching the cars in front with degraded tyres. I think we might be 6th in constructors after this, which isn't bad for McLaren.
That's Leclerc. Charles Leclerc is today's winner.
Well, who cares? Let's just absolutely pump it. See what we get. Ah, well. I think we're going to be clawing for points until we've got at least a couple more good parts in the car. Good to get a point. If we can just get points every race, I think that'd be good. And there we are.
And that's good enough work from Lando Norris this weekend.
Might just see how the McLaren team feels about it. Are they happy? Are they
McLaren
sad?
showed some good stuff here today.
Oh, they seem alright.
They'll be building on that now to try and improve
Reasonable.
their results next time.
And the board are going to tell us how rubbish we are. Okay, so, well, everyone gained points. Lando gained points. Ricciardo gained points. Sorry, places. Gained places. In terms of the drivers, 11th and 12th. Sounds about right. Constructors. Well, we're level on points with AlphaTauri now. But I guess we're behind alphabetically. Where did they finish? So AlphaTauri, yeah, they were 13th and 16th. So, you know, if we can keep finishing above them, we'll climb into 7th place, 6th place properly before too long. I don't see us catching Alfa Romeo though. So that's going to be a bit of a tough target this season. Good XP on Norris. Are we getting any development points? Not just yet. What's outgoing? Performance guarantees. What do we guarantee? Oh, that's the streak target we've set up. Yeah. But on the plus side, we don't have to pay our drivers any bonuses, so so there's that. And we're getting quite low on money now. So I've kind of been upgrading all the facilities that I can. I've replaced staff at quite great expense. 11 days to the next Grand Prix. Not looking too bad. How close are the drivers to levelling up? I mean, Ricciardo is going to be miles off, but Lando should, by the time we finish the next race, should have another development point. Oh, actually Theo has got one. So what do we want to upgrade here? I mean, there's a couple of obvious areas. I think reactions is as the oh, there we go. We increased his rating to 72. That's good. Raised the average a little bit. It's going to be a while before I'm comfortable with him being a Seat 1 driver. There, Ricciardo. Right, race simulator's done. Still saying we're 7th. A difficult race. maybe you should change your expectations. How are we doing? Yeah, we've got 2 projects going on at the moment. I mean, yeah, going to be a few races until we see those. So I think we're pretty much in this this sort of spot for a while. As I say, we might be able to climb up against over AlphaTauri with luck. Board confidence is medium. I think probably because I built the boardroom. Let's actually look at our facilities. What have we got going on? So boardroom's level 2. So the board is gaining 10% confidence per race. We could actually upgrade that for less than $1 million. Maybe we'll do that because I think I'd like to stay in the job if I can. Hospitality area. This team attractiveness thing, I think that's going to affect you know, how willing better drivers and staff are to join us. Things like that. So it's worth investing in that if we're looking to move up the table. Staff facilities. What does the team hub do? If we upgrade it, again that team attractiveness stat just increases, and when staff gain experience quicker, I think that's worth doing. Anything that raises the the experience gain is worth doing, I think. All this stuff is expensive, and the factory's 11 million. We can't even afford that, so. On finances, I don't know if we can take any loans or anything. I'm sure that'll look after itself. Making a profit. I mean, we are spending a lot on upgrades and hires, so that's fine. So let's go back to home, and we're going to leave it there for now. So thanks very much for joining me in Italy. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, then please do hit the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel as well, which would be amazing. And I'll see you next time when we're going to head over to the United States, and we're going to race in the Miami Grand Prix. In 11 days. Well, thanks very much. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.